to my channel. So today we are going to be talking about Disney stars who have went down some bad paths. Whether it's from breaking down from all the pressure of being perfect to being abused or to even having tiger parents. Whatever the case may be, this is Disney Gone Wrong, Part 2. And if you haven't seen part 1 yet, I'll leave the link down in the description box, so I suggest you check that one out too. Miley Ray Cyrus. Miley is the daughter of the country singer Billy Ray Cyrus, and she made her big break at the age of 13 as the lead character in the Disney Channel series Hannah Montana, which was probably the most successful show on Disney at that time. Miley has also been very successful in her music career. Now, Miley started breaking her picture perfect Disney persona around 15 years old when she posed topless during a photo shoot for Vanity Fair, which they tried to make it seem better by saying, oh, well, she wasn't bare chested and that she was covered up with a sheet. But as a parent, I wouldn't have wanted my 15-year-old daughter to pose like that for the world to see. And I do think that was her parents' decision to do that because we all know Disney would have never allowed that. And the only reason Disney probably let her or maybe didn't fire her or cut her from the channel is because they were making so much money off of her. But again, that's just my opinion. Now, Miley stayed pretty squeaky clean after that. And then around, I think when she was around 18, there was a video released of her smoking out of a bong. And to me, that's not really a big deal, but you know, if you're a Disney child star, it is a big deal. And not long after that, she finished her deal with Disney between 2013 and 2014. And that's when she started to go down quite a dramatic path. And I honestly think she was just trying to find herself. I mean, Disney really controlled everything that she did from the way she looked. Like, she couldn't do anything with her hair or her appearance unless Disney approved. And most of the time, Disney is like controlled exactly how she looked because they wanted her to look a certain way for their channel. So Miley ended up chopping her hair off and getting this cute little pixie cut look, which I loved on her. But she said when she cut her hair, that was the first time she felt herself in a very long time, and that she felt so free and liberated when she did it. Now, Miley went through a stage that I'm sure we all remember that every time we saw her, she was either twerking, she was sticking out her tongue, she was smoking, she was being very over sexual. But I still feel like that was Miley trying to find herself and trying to break out of that Disney persona that people wanted to keep her in. And that's actually what most Disney stars struggle with. Miley is no longer in that stage of her life anymore, and now she seems to have found herself and is very well put together and a very talented woman. Now, this next Disney star is probably one of my favorites, Demi Lovato. Demi started acting in 2002 when she was around 10 years old on the show Barney and Friends. She started off with Disney on the short series As the Bell Rings, and she made it big when she starred in the movies Camp Rock 1 and Camp Rock 2. She then went on to do Sunny with a Chance and Princess Protection Program. Now, Demi's parents split when she was young, and she said that her father was abusive and once stated that he was mean, but he wanted to be a good person. Now, when it comes to Disney, Demi has been probably as open as she probably can be. And she did say when she was 15 years old that one of her co stars on the Disney movies, AR'd her. And that she did tell someone, but they still didn't take him out of the movie, and she still had to see him every single day. And I could just imagine how stressful that was for her and how traumatizing that was for her at such a young age, at 15 years old, having to see your abuser every single day like nothing happens. She also said that there was so much pressure on her to stay thin that both of these situations led her to have a eating disorder and to self-harm. She also said she began using opiates at the age of 13, and at that time she was already drinking. Demi said that this eventually led her to use other substances at the age of 17. And by the time she was 18, she was entering rehab after she punched one of her backup dancers in the face. She later came out and said she had been diagnosed with bipolar disorder during her treatment. After her treatment, she released a documentary on MTV talking about her struggles, but she later admitted that she was still secretly using at that time and she was still struggling with her eating disorder and that she really just wasn't ready to get better yet. And then in 2012, Demi had a performance on American Idol where she could barely perform because she said that she was hungover from the night before, and that's when her team told her if she didn't get help, they were all leaving her. Demi then checked into rehab again, and this time she was diagnosed with ADHD. In 2017, Demi came out with a YouTube documentary called Demi Lovato Simply Complicated, which I strongly suggest you watch. I'm not gonna lie, it did make me cry, but enough about me. Demi was clean for 6 years when she relapsed on July 24th, 2018. She was rushed to the hospital from an overdose from oxycodone laced with fentanyl, and she almost died. She had multiple health complications stemming from this overdose, including multiple strokes, a heart attack, and she had some brain damage. And later on, she was starting to suffer with vision problems, like she was having problems seeing. And Demi also came out and said during the time of her overdose that she was assaulted by the man who dealt her the substances. Now, since then, it has seemed like Demi has gotten back on track as far as I'm aware of. And I'm so happy for her if she is back on track. Like, she is so talented and she has such a beautiful voice. It seemed like she went through so much at such a young age and didn't know how to handle her emotions, especially with the whole world watching and no one to talk to or open up to. Like, it seemed like she really just kind of held so much in, and over time that builds up and you end up exploding or just going down the wrong path like Demi did. So I really hope that she is better and she continues to be the beautiful, talented woman that she is. Zac Efron. Now, Zac made his big break on Disney when he starred as Troy in the movie High School Musical. He was also in part 2 and 3, which at that time were the biggest movies on Disney. Zach has had a pretty good acting career after Disney and has been in a good bit of stuff. Like, he's been in a lot of movies and shows. Zach said that he started using substances and drinking a lot during his transition from Disney to more mature acting roles. He also said the pressure of the press also played a big role in his addiction. Zach checked into rehab in 2013 and he has been clean ever since, as far as I know. And he seems like he's doing great. He's been in a lot of movies. He has his own show. I think it's on Netflix, if I'm correct. But he seems like he's just, over that phase of his life and on to bigger and better things. Bella Thorne. Bella started on Disney in 2010 as Cece Jones on the series Shake It Up, alongside Zendaya. They also played in the Disney film Frenemies together. Now, Bella had a pretty rough childhood. Her father passed in 2007, leaving her mother to raise four children all alone. And that's why she originally began working as a child actress to help support their family. She also was bullied while growing up because she was dyslexic and she obviously had a hard time with the other children, but she ended up coming on top. Like, she literally went to this little program and she ended up being two grades ahead of everybody else. Bella also said that she was sexually abused from the time she was 6 years old till the time she was 14 years old. She didn't say by who, but she did say it was by someone she was raised with. Even going through all of that as a child, Bella had a very extensive acting catalog. And the only thing that she said about her time on Disney is that she felt restricted and that she'd wish she could have been true to herself. Now, Bella hasn't had any legal troubles as far as I'm aware, but she did start doing, pornographic movies and even created an OnlyFans page. So, really, she hasn't done anything too crazy, but in the eyes of Disney and Disney lovers, she is the worst of the worst in their eyes. But to me, I don't think she really did anything wrong. I think she's just being her, and if she wants to show herself to the world, then that's up to her. That's her decision, but she's not out here, as far as I know, doing drugs, getting into trouble, or hurting anyone. Now, these next two people, I don't really know that well. I think they were kind of after my Disney era. So, next up is Adam Hicks. Adam started with Disney on the show Zeke and Luther. He was the main character, Luther, and he also played in the Disney movie Lemonade Mouth, which I might have actually seen with my daughter. She's about 10. So, I'm going to say that he is kind of in her era of Disney. But he also released a good bit of music under Disney's label. And on January 25th, 2018, Adam and his girlfriend were arrested on suspicion of armed robbery. And in July 2021, Adam was found guilty of robbery and was sentenced to 5 years in a state prison. However, Adam received time served and was released in March 2022 on parole. Now, I'm not really sure what Adam is doing these days, but we could always Google it and find out. He might be on the low because I haven't really seen anything too much on him online. Now, this next Disney actor is the last one on our list, and he is probably the worst one out of them all. Stoney Westmoreland. Now, forgive me if I said his last name wrong, but that's what it looks like to me. He was the grandfather on the Disney Channel series Andy Mack. And in 2018, while still acting in the series Andy Mack, Stoney was arrested for a child sex charge and was sentenced to 2 years in prison. And once released, will be supervised for 10 years and have to register on the offenders list. Now, Stoney was communicating with a undercover cop who was pretending to be a 13-year-old boy. Mind you, Stoney was 52 years old. Ugh, just disgusting. He then planned a meetup to do you know what with a 13-year-old boy. When he showed up, he was arrested. Now, he tried to say that he was going to leave if the boy was underage, which to me is a crock of crap because he already knew how old the boy was, and that's why he was talking to him in the first place. He originally would have served 10 years in prison, but he made a deal and pled guilty to the lesser charge. So he only had to serve 2 years. And this is just so sick to me. And to think that he was an actor on a child's television show is just so crazy. And ugh, he was just pathetic. And I wish he would have got more than 2 years because if that wasn't an undercover cop and it was a 13-year-old boy, something would have definitely went down that day, and it would have been worse than, obviously him meeting up with the cop. But I feel like he should have gotten more for that, my opinion. I hope you guys enjoy these videos, and if you have any other suggestions on what I should do next, just let me know down in the comment section below. And don't forget that I do true crime also, so I'm pretty much open to do anything. Just let me know what you guys are interested in. And thank you so much for watching, and don't forget to hit that subscribe button, and I'll see you guys next time.